Now, Sports Talk with Broads. Here's Hunter Brody.
The Phillies suck. The Phillies suck. Say it with me. The Phillies suck. They suck. They suck. They suck. The Phillies suck. They get swept by the Chicago Cubs, who suck, by the way. They haven't beaten the Cubs all year long. And go look at the records against the Texas Rangers, against the San Francisco Giants. This is inexcusable. In past seasons, it would be the Marlins. It would be some dreadful teams. Now you're just switching who that team is. It doesn't make the end result any better. And quite frankly, it's impossible to be as pathetic as this team is year after year after year. Dating back to 2018, they were 2-9 down the stretch. 2019, 3-9 down the stretch. 2020, 1-7 down the stretch. They suck all the time, and it's brutal. I even think 2019, you could even dig a little bit deeper and find like a 1-6 run towards that back end, if I remember correctly. But it makes me sick. It really does. I mean, let's go through the list of things, shall we? Brandon Marsh can't catch a baseball. Gene Segura doesn't know what the count is, and he gets destroyed on the base paths. Bryson Stott doesn't know how to turn two. The Phillies left 1,000 guys on base. They can't get any timely hits. Nola sucked for one of those innings that completely ruined the entire outing. Rob Thompson has no idea how to manage a bullpen and decides when it's time to pull Zach Wheeler from the game, which his pitch count wasn't even high, and he did get out of a little bit of some noise there in the 6th inning just fine. He goes to Connor Brogdon with, in theory, the season on the line. He goes to Connor Brogdon. While the offensive struggles are real, and the offensive struggles are a number one reason why this team is failing right now, how the hell does Rob Thompson go down swinging with Connor Brogdon when on Monday they had an off day? It's inexcusable to not have Zach Eflin available, to not have anybody else available. And the fact that we didn't see Sir Anthony Dominguez, unless I missed something, I feel like there's a problem here because you used Nick Nelson and Bellotti in Game 2. You didn't see Sir Anthony in Game 3. Granted, he has been miserable, and Sir Anthony has been awful. What's going on here? He's a guy that you need to be relying on at this time of the year. The fact that they're not tells me something, but, I mean, come on, Rob. And there's been previous issues like not walking guys intentionally when there's an open base. Instead, he feels the need to pitch to those people. Those people do some damage. So, I mean, I like Rob Thompson with the full body of work, but I'm aggravated with some things that we've seen late here. Bryce's AB in Game 2, the 9th inning. One of the ugliest at-bats I've ever seen in my life. I've seen Bryson Stott do some horrible things at the plate. This team is just a bunch of losers. I think JT Realmuto is a huge loser. Don't try and tell me that, oh, well, he leads the league in OPS and the All-Star break. The guy's a loser, and he made it very clear when he looked everybody in the fan base right in the eyes and said, I don't care if I get fined a little bit of money. Well, he's talking about a little bit of money being some serious amount of cash. He's just out of touch. All right, Nick Castellanos, his personality blows. You want to talk about a losing culture? There's no way in hell people actually enjoy whatever it is Nick Castellanos brings to the table from a personality perspective. I don't think he results and relates to what winning baseball is all about. I don't care about singles. I don't care. That's why with Bryce Harper getting 3 singles in this final game of the frame, I don't care. I don't look at Bryce Bryce Harper is a guy that I need to roll over a ground ball to knock in an RBI, a sac fly. I need to see Bryce Harper put the team on his back as an NL MVP. I am not satisfied at all with Bryce Harper, and quite frankly, I think he is horrible when it comes to leadership, and that's why we are in the predicament that we are in. Rhys Hoskins is pathetic. I can't stand looking at him anymore. As you can tell, I think it's time for a major change, even if they somehow back themselves in. All right, I mean, it is what it is. At this point, they have broken me insanely. They have broken the fan base, and we should feel the way that we do right now, even if they somehow squeeze in. They are one of the worst baseball teams I've ever seen, and they're lucky because, let's be honest here, baseball keeps saying over and over again, all right, we'll expand the playoffs. So it starts with just wild card teams, then there's wild card series. There's 3 teams in here. See what I'm saying? Like, they can't even properly get in to the 3rd fucking wild card spot. Do you know how bad you need to be fighting at this level to make the 3rd wild card team? You don't deserve postseason baseball at all. Baseball's trying to hand this to you on a silver fucking platter. Here you go, Phillies. Take it. Break that streak between you and the Marlins. Someone, I beg of you. And they're still fucking it up. They're awful. I can't take it anymore. And nothing's going to change my opinion. No matter what they do against the Washington Nationals, someone needs to step up. All right, I don't want to hear that, well, Aaron Nola threw his glove, and did you see that type of frustration? Did you see, it's nice to see a little bit of some. Come on. I normally don't use this type of word during the podcast, but I just need to say it to express my level of I hate this baseball team so much. Aaron Nola, and I'm using air quotes here, showing that he was mad. You know what he looked like? I'm just being honest, okay? I don't like using that type of terminology here, but I'm just being honest with you. That's what it felt like to me when he placed his glove down when he was mad. Don't tell me he was throwing his glove down. Come on. That didn't look real to me. None of this team looks real to me. If you're not going to break now and reach your breaking point now, I hear music post-game. I could have sworn I heard reggae when Aaron Nola was talking to the media the other day. I'm hearing that. If you're not going to blow up now, instead it's, these guys are having fun. What did Rob Thompson say? Let me go see. It was Alex Coffey who tweeted this out during the day. And it was what Rob Thompson had to say about his team. And it's just comical. Rob Thompson on whether the Phillies feel a sense of urgency right now. Not any more than what's normal. I think they're pretty calm right now. Having fun. Having fun! Who's having fun right now? I'll tell you for free. It's not me, and it's not anybody watching this team. And it bothers me that majority of us that put our blood, sweat, and tears into watching them consistently at 7:05, 7:15, 10:10, 9:40, 1 o'clock, 4:05, whatever time first pitch is, it seems as if we care more than they do right now. He continues, hopefully they're really enjoying it, but we got to win some games. We know that. It's just part of the gig. I hope they're not enjoying this at all, Rob. I hope that this keeps them up at night. I hope they have nightmares thinking about the collapse because all they do every single season is collapse and fall flat on their face. So there's so many people in this clubhouse that just smell like losers, smell like people who don't know how to succeed. JT Realmuto, Bryce Harper, Gene Segura, definitely. I mean, come on now. He's one of the most active players here to not find himself in a postseason game. I have to say that there's a reason why he resonates with that type of run that is very rare to find. I don't like Alec Boehm. The dude is a slap hitter. That's what we got. We got all these guys that are supposed to hit bombs. Alec Boehm's body structure is supposed to hit home runs. He can. The only one is Kyle Schwarber, yet that's the most amount of phone calls I get is about him being in the leadoff spot, yet he's got 42 home runs this year. He's the last thing on my mind. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. He is the last thing on my mind is Kyle Schwarber from a baseball level. Now, I want to go look at the 2019 schedule results because it says here in 2019 they were 3-9 in their last 12. And it's probably right. I just remember it being, I was looking at the 2021 and the 2020 before. Okay. Oh, yeah, they went on a big, at one point they were 79-75, and they ended up being 79-80 before winning 2 in a row and then finishing 81-81 back in 2019. Oh, man, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm counting the, oh, yeah, oh, man, 3-9 in their final 12. The list goes on and on. It is just how we embrace Phillies baseball at this point. We have Rhys Hoskins' wife freaking out at Ricky Bo on Twitter, saying that Ricky Bo is one of the ones that root for the Phillies to lose. And I'm paraphrasing, but she seriously said that. She went after Ricky Bo, acting as if all he wants is for the team to fail because for some reason it would be good for him. Or, hold on a second here, Rhys's wife, or we want them to win. We're trying to hold them accountable because this is the garbage that your husband provides us from an entertainment standpoint. Can we be honest here? Can we be objective? When it comes to the sport of baseball, the Phillies only know how to do one thing, and that is lose. Therefore, when it happens over and over again, we actually care enough to have some sort of instant reaction. We have so much emotions bottled up because we can't stand it. While all the players seem to go, okay, there's another day. There's another game. They're calm. They're having fun, says Rob Thompson. They're having fun. This is fun. Let's go have fun. While the Braves just tear teams apart. While the Braves somehow are now in a battle against the New York Mets to try and go steal the division. Yet we're having fun trying to get the third wild card spot, which is not even real. It's a joke, man. It's a joke. I hate this team. I hate them. They're so unlikable. The greatest run in Phillies history with the 08, the 09. I don't have to sell you how we felt connected with Chase, with Jimmy, with Ryan. They were part of us. JT doesn't give a damn about you. Nick Castellanos is one of the biggest frauds I've ever seen in my life. Who do I like on this baseball team? I like Zach Wheeler. Not Mr. Personality. I like Zach Wheeler. I don't hate Bryce Harper. I just demand more. And now I think the door is creeping open, though, as the weeks continue on. How come every time you're not in the lineup, the team does better? How come when you leave the team with an injury, they go on a run? How come when you leave the Washington Nationals, they win a World Series and Anthony Rendon throws shade your way? I'm just being honest. I don't hate him, though. So fine, I'll put him in the I like you, but I just demand way more from you. Zach Wheeler, Ranger Suarez. And by the way, this team lost to the Cubs with what would be a playoff rotation. Now, you would expect Zach Wheeler to be able to go farther, and he wouldn't be on a pitch count the way that he was to have to go to Connor Brogdon. But Zach Wheeler, Aaron Nola, and Ranger Suarez all collected those L's. That doesn't make me feel good against one of the worst teams my eyes have ever seen. So we have that going for us. Who do I like? I like Stott in the long term. I don't like Boehm. I think he sucks defensively, and I don't think he does enough for what his body structure provides. Love Schwarber. 3 guys. I'm at 3 guys. Wheeler, Schwarber, Stott, Harper. 4 guys. I mean, Brandon Marsh, all you're supposed to be able to do is catch baseballs. Oh, he's a good center fielder. He's a real pure professional center fielder. Really? Oh, okay. Okay. How? How does a real pure professional center fielder have the ball drop right in front of him and misses? Just completely loses control. That's what this team does. They lose control. And when they do, it spirals out of control. It's amazing, isn't it? I've never seen a worse group of at-bats in my life. What is their mindset? What is their approach? And what type of leaders, Bryce? We always say that, right? Now, first pitch swinging, his numbers are lethal. He does have a good OPS. He does have a good batting average when he first pitch swings. But sometimes that rubs off. And when you watch a Bryson Stott AB, it makes you want to rip your eyes out. It's what it is. It's where we're at right now. I don't want to hear it. Well, if the Brewers lose, I don't care if the Brewers lose. I don't care if the Brewers are more pathetic than the Phillies at the end of the day, which is very hard to do. And I don't even think that they are. I actually believe. I realized this after the second Cubs loss, which was really their fifth Cubs loss of the season. They're toast. They're not making the postseason. I don't give a damn about the Brewers. I care about the Phillies. And what I know is they don't have balls. And unless Dave Dombrowski makes some major moves, and this is the true test for Dave, because I think I've been pretty clear. I think he's a sharp baseball mind. I think he's a real baseball dude. Well, a real baseball dude, regardless of if they get it, how they get it, I'm just saying, like if they do and it looks like this, major moves have to occur. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's not about the end result. It's about how it looked at the time when people need to play their best baseball in September. And if you don't have a crew that can do it, you have to change. I want Rhys Hoskins gone. I guess I want Aaron Nola gone. Those are my two that I feel rub the most off of the whole, like, this team just has a bunch of losers in their clubhouse. I mean, they've been here for a long period of time. So those two. And that doesn't mean that Aaron Nola had a bad season. I'm not saying that. Honestly, I thought he had one of his better seasons. But when it gets to this point, sorry, something has to change. I'm looking at those two. Gene with the contract situation's probably an easy get out of town. I'd look to trade JT because I don't value the catcher position that way. I'd rather use that money and go after a Trey Turner, a Dansby Swanson, a Bogart. And they probably might do that anyway, but I don't value. So maybe you can try and get fancy and get cute and bring in a couple guys and get JT Realmuto off the books because I don't think he's a winner. I try and trade Nick Castellanos because I really hate him. I want to see who Dave Dombrowski is. This is going to put him to the test because I hold him to a high standard. That means I expect him to realize all of the issues that I see every day when watching this team. All right, we'll take some anytime hotline calls. I don't care what the Brewers score is. I know that people are mentioning it along the side here as we're recording this show live. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care what's happening. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not here to dissect the Milwaukee Brewers. I'm not here to dissect who the Miami Marlins are. All I can control is who the Phillies are. Well, I can't control them. If I controlled them, I'd be a billionaire because John Middleton would pay me a lot of money to put some asses in the seats and have Red October again, a meaningful Red October. I don't control them. But I look at this team as, okay, I'm going to dissect this team because they can control this outcome. Destiny, I mean, talk about it being right in their hands. They were the ones that just had to win. They didn't even have to do that good of a job. They just had to go 500. We broke it all down. Well, if they go 500 on their backstretch, they go 5-5. That demands the Milwaukee Brewers to do something so significant, which they haven't been able to do all year. That would be good enough. The 4-6 probably would have been good enough, yet they start this road trip with one of the worst performances I've ever seen. They can't score runs. You don't know who those two pitchers were that Chicago threw the last 2 days. Seriously. And I'll say this one last thing before we start taking some calls. Well, they keep putting guys on. I heard Rob say that. Okay, fine. In May, June, July, I agree. I agree, Rob. In May, June, and July, that's fine. Because the more bodies you put on the base paths, you'll eventually knock them in. I lived by that throughout majority of this season. Not September 29th, Rob. Not now. Not when it's time to go win baseball games. It's time to win baseball games now, Rob. That works when you're thinking, it's okay, it's game 55. We got 100 plus more of these puppies to go. If not now, when? If not now, when? It's a joke. All right, here we go.
What's up, Rhodes? I'm I'm really hoping today you are just destroying the complete fuck out of this team. Where, it's the top of the bottom of the 8th inning right now, and I'm just thinking about how this team has went from playoff bound to now we're just going to suck for the rest of the season. It is pathetic how this team has been playing baseball, how they've been hitting. I'm really disappointed with how Harper's approach to the plate has been an absolute disaster. We can't hit anything. It's just one of those things where now we're just going to have to really wonder about what if we could have maybe done better at the plate or maybe had some better pitching. But I'll leave it up to you, bro. It's absolute disgrace of a series, absolute disgrace of a season. Yeah, it's not over yet, but I'm already counting them out because that's just the way this thing's going to go. So you got it from here, boss.
Well, thank you. I agree. Good. You should rule them out. You should cancel them out of your lives. That's the respect that, the lack thereof that they showed us, so that we will apply that right back to them. Screw you. Screw you. You don't deserve my time. You don't deserve my energy. I'm telling you, this whole Washington Nationals series, come on. Is any serious Phillies fan thinking they're going to sit down and actually enjoy that baseball game or enjoy anything regardless of the outcome, even if they win? Even if the Brewers lose, I know big things are happening late in that game right now. It doesn't change my opinion at all, because I know that there is an issue internally with us. And until that changes, there's no way. This is the most epic version of a September collapse that you can ever see. It really is that deep. And at this point, it's so sour and it's so brutal that you can go all the way through next year. And game 55, 56, 60, they start off hot. Who fucking cares? Who cares? Nothing matters anymore that they can do until they prove to us September. So that means all of next year, when nobody's going and nobody's enjoying the games and nobody's spending money on tickets and nobody's in Jetro tailgating and nobody's watching them play the Braves, and the Mets series is complete blue and orange because they packed the entire stadium. Good. And if I'm John Middleton and I'm looking at all the money I spent going over the luxury tax and the return of investment, no one's going to watch Bryce Harper play. Bryce Harper doesn't move the needle for this fan base right now, and it shouldn't. But remember when he returned and we thought, maybe because Bryce is back, there'll be asses there. Nobody goes. And this is with a well-deserved mindset of this year's different. Like, I thought legitimately this season it was fair throughout majority of the year to go, this feels different. Bryson, Stott, Bohm had a month. Schwarber had a month. Guys were taking over. They looked different. They had an attitude to them. They had an edge. They kept fighting. They were beating bad teams for a while there. They were handling business against Washington. They beat the Miami Marlins. They won the season series against some of these teams in the postseason. The Dodgers, but right? Like, that was all going for them. So we acknowledge that the right way. And I bring that up to you because now I'm thinking of next year. Let's fast forward. Think about the impossible for them, which they did to themselves. What type of bar is now set? Unless they're going for like 105 win pace through the first couple months of the season. And even then, we'd say, well, we know the Braves are a good franchise. We can't count out the Mets just because the Phillies are accustomed to being losers. We'll never believe. And rightfully so, we should never believe next season. Next call.
Pathetic. Just pathetic. Really, you're going to get swept by the Cubs, and you're going to score just 3 runs. Just 3. What is going on with this team? We should have this wildcard spot. No one's playing. Castellanos sucks. Bryce sucks. Everyone sucks. Come on. You can't do this. Just can't.
You can't, but But they're doing that to us. And somebody just pointed out, don't forget about the elbow surgery in the offseason. Great point. Excellent point. Who the hell knows? Yet he's telling everybody that he's going to be playing in that World Baseball Classic that's happening after the season. Or I think let me look up the date for that. That's probably in, I don't know, what World Baseball Classic, March 8th. Okay, so it looks like it's March 8th to March 21st. Let's see how that goes for Bryce. Okay, let's see how the whole entire offseason pans out with him and the procedures and all that. Because I swear to God, if he ends up playing around, dicking around so he can play and bat in the World Baseball Classic, which is then going to limit what he can do for the Phillies and his availability there, I'm going to throw up, all right? I am going to lose my damn mind if he starts dicking around and then things start to happen where it hurts this organization who paid him the fat ticket to come here and change everything. Yet he hasn't been able to. All right, I'll give you a little round of applause. It's cute, Bryce, that you won the NL MVP last year and you did take the season by storm on the backstretch. But this organization hasn't been to the playoffs since you've been here. And if you don't think you're going to get rightfully criticized for it, I don't care about a sac fly. I don't care about an RBI ground out. And damn it, I'm not here to celebrate 3 singles. I didn't spend $330 million. I say that as if it's my money. I didn't spend $330 million for you to hit dinky singles, just like I don't give Nick Castellanos any credit for dinky singles, just like I don't give Alec Boehm any credit for dinky singles. I want to see bombs. I want to see good at-bats. I want to see the 9th inning when the team desperately needs you. You actually put together a damn good approach instead of flailing at garbage that's at the bottom of the dirt. You're not a leader. Kyle Schwarber, it's not his fault, but there's too many holes for him to pick up with himself. But he's the only real true leader in this team. And when that's the case, you probably look around, go, what do you want me to do? I can only do so much. I don't have the power. This is getting out of control. I'm sure he's thinking it. All right. I'll take one more. There's a bunch in here, but all right. We'll take one more.
I mean, the Phils at this point, it's just so predictable. I mean, it's every year, not to say that we're in a playoff spot like we were this year, but it's every year that something goes wrong. You know, there's the narrative that Nola, can't pitch in September. He wasn't even that bad this September, and we still can't finish. You know what I mean? Like, you can point to literally any part of this team, any part, and say they were the issue. I mean, 1 through 9, all 5 starters, really. I mean, you can just point to any part of this team and say they were the issue. You can look at the manager, the coaching, anything. They were the issue. I mean, we spent, $25 million on Rhys Familia and Didi Gregorius this year or something? I mean, it was just poor all the way around.
Yeah, but at that point, you're almost taking a shot at Dave Dombrowski. And, I mean, he's the one that I'm looking at now. Now, when you see this, it's okay, dude. What type of guy are you? Every team is going to have – if you even look at the teams that win, other than the Dodgers, which just do it at a ridiculous pace, which, I'm sure even they, though, will have some bullpen guys that don't pan out as much as you would like. Every single team throughout the season is going to have a bullpen guy they signed in the offseason that maybe didn't pan out. Or one guy like Didi, you bring in a veteran dude and you think he might be able to help out, but he doesn't. That type of stuff happens. I mean, you sign Nick Castellanos, who in theory hitter, who wasn't, but that's on Nick Castellanos, not the guy who put the money out in front of him. Nick Castellanos, you look at Dave Dombrowski heading into the season, I think he did everything you can ask a president of baseball operations. So, that last shot I don't think is fair, but I think moving forward, you have to show your worth, that you're smarter than the regular, that you're the top tier baseball mind there, Dave, by making some tough decisions. And maybe at the end of the day, this becomes a blessing in disguise. Maybe this type of failure, you get rid of all the trash that's sitting in here, and you wouldn't have if you went 5-5 in the last 10 and won with a couple days to go. I'm just saying, maybe it's possible that this could end up being great and fantastic. The person I use for this type of example is Do we have the same version of Joel Embiid if Kawhi Leonard didn't sink that shot? Maybe the answer is yes. Maybe I'm not giving Joel Embiid enough credit for the competitor that he is, but deep down I believe that type of loss and that pain drove him to have the attitude and edge that he does now, and he blossomed because of it. I think you have to go through pain to get better. This would be different because I don't have belief in a specific player the way that I do with Joel Embiid with the Sixers in this organization, other than Andrew Painter, who I trust with my life, which probably is a flaw on me, because if this organization has shown me anything, don't do it, Broads. He's going to be awful. What's the name of this show? The Phillies suck, right? Let's just be tamed here and just be relaxed, because who knows? Andrew Painter could somehow just get sucked into the horrendousness of what Phillies baseball is all about in their brand. But maybe this is the best thing to happen to us, so then we can get rid of the crap. It's hard to really see it through now, though. So my last statement here. Brandon Marsh can't catch. Segura doesn't know how to remember the count. Bryce and Stott can't turn 2. The Phillies offense left 1,000 guys on base. Nola completely blew up for an inning, and unfortunately that was enough to lose. Connor Brogdon after Wheeler was laughable. Bryce's AB in the 9th in Game 2 made me sick. JT is useless. Nick Castellanos is a loser. Awful attitude. Rhys's wife apparently doesn't want us to want the team to win. The Texas Rangers, the Cubs, going to Arizona, San Francisco. It all pisses me off. Thanks, everybody. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. Catch you guys later. I hate this team.